I'm probably going to want to give her a grabby hand, too, just because we like to do grabby hands in this house. Just some horrible, disgusting hands. After all, why not? We already did a ton of stuff with feet in this series, so why not do some horrible, disgusting hands as well? Even though I know I'm gonna end up erasing a lot of this, still kind of important for me just to get draw the whole thing in, just so I know that it works as an object. There you go. Now we can also move it around a little bit to maybe show off a little bit more of it. Another thing that I'm noticing, we're working with this new Pomodoro thing. And it's something that is really important to, especially if you want to like do this professionally. Having a good understanding of how long it takes you to do something is really important. It stops you from signing up for things that you're going to end up losing money on, right? So basically, I know from experience that it takes me about a day to do a standard comic page, start to finish. And that's what I've used to gauge a lot of my pricing when I quote to clients and stuff like that. But on smaller stuff, more piecemeal things, coloring jobs, single illustrations, I don't necessarily have the best idea of how long it takes me to do something, and that can end up with me signing up to do essentially deep discounts on stuff that takes me, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to do. So, having a better understanding of how long it takes me to do something like pencil out an illustration, color an illustration, that's going to help me a lot in my career. Just figure out what it is that it takes to get you get your creations accomplished and go from there. We're almost done with the pencil. That's always a good place to be. It's like, wow, the pencil. The pencil's the hardest part. Probably also the most fun. But definitely on the harder side. We're going to end up doing a lot of fun stuff with color on this, as I'm sure you may have guessed. This baby's begging for Blorange. Probably not going to Blorange it. Blorange is one of those things that I guess is really effective, but you can do it with any two opposing colors. And it looks more visually interesting than just Bloranging it. But you've always got that pocket Blorange, no matter what happens to you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it'll come up under coloring. But you look at a lot of movie posters and you see that they use either blue and orange or teal and orange as opposing colors. I feel like this gets talked about online a lot, so we'll do a little demo maybe when we get to the coloring stage, but otherwise it's something you can Google really easily and find out more about. Visit your local Blorange library for more. Alright. Gonna leave the hair largely as white space. Cool. Okay. That's penciling. We're gonna commit. Lock it in. That's a commit. We've committed. Pretty cool. When I say that's a commit, I guess I mean that's a commit to the composition. You know, I had a really good time at CliffsCon the other day. So local Comic-Con in my neck of the woods, and I got to meet a lot of cool people. But the funniest thing that happened to me that day, I think, was I had somebody come up to me and ask me, what I was influenced by, and I gave him my usual spiel, including all of the mangaka that I love and admire. And then they asked me to explain the appeal of of Junji Ito's Uzumaki to them, and my gut reaction to that is like, if you need me to explain the appeal of that masterpiece to you, then you didn't get it. But I guess they didn't get it, which is why they wanted me to explain it to them. And I'm kind of happy to sing the gospel of Junji Ito. But I've never experienced that before, where somebody was like, I didn't think this was very, especially with Uzumaki, it's like, I didn't think it was very good. Why do people like this? And it's like, to me, that's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a universally loved classical piece of media. I don't want to say it's like people saying, what's the big deal with the Mona Lisa? Because there's actually quite an argument to be made about what's the big deal with the Mona Lisa. It's like Phantom Limb and the Venture Brothers. It's not a better painting, it's just a more famous painting. Generally, when talking about Ito's work, the sacred and the profane, right? Juxtaposition of innocence against the grotesque. And how that is, unreversibly altered by the world around it. Very much in the same fashion as Kazuo Uesu's Drifting Classroom, which was, you'd be surprised to learn, a very large influence on Ito. And I'm not sure how you could not like the art of Junji Ito, but if you don't, I guess that's a matter of personal taste. It's an interesting exercise, though, to be forced to kind of defend something that you love like that. This wasn't even presented to be in such a hostile fashion. It's just I've never really been put to the test before in that way. Well, we do need to do a little bit of shading work on the serpos. And they're going to be underlit, which is to say lit from beneath. Maybe they're not underlit. Always got to look at it from the postage stamp view, right? I really hate these eyes. We'll drop those in at the color stage. Alright, we're just making sure that everything's good and separated there. Yeah, I like this. Do a little bit more cleanup. I think we'll call it a day. It's just an awkward filio. Better or worse? I like not breaking the circle. Something we may also discover more about at the ink stage. I think this is good. I do. We're ready to ink this. Just gonna have to remember what my spot blacks are, and one thing I'll do in the last couple of minutes here. If we kind of run around, soften up a little bit. Anyway, a place to, make those kind of clear delineations between figures, even black and white and grayscale. Stuff that might be really obvious when we get to coloring, but it still just kind of helps to have that understanding at the black and white phase. So you have a good understanding of your entire drawing. It's all about understanding. Think with portals. All right. Next, we're inking.